The Arabian sun beats down like a hammer on an anvil. 3,000 men stand in loose formation, staring at the horizon. What they see shouldn't be possible. An ocean of steel, banners stretching for miles, the combined might of the Byzantine Empire and its Arab allies, over 100,000 soldiers, perhaps twice that number. Professional legionaries who've conquered nations, heavy cavalry that's crushed rebellions from Egypt to Persia. The math is simple. The odds are 60 to 1. Behind them lies 1,000 kilometers of scorching desert. Ahead lies certain death. One commander turns to his men and says something that will echo through the centuries. We do not fight with numbers. We fight with something they can never understand. This is Muta, where 3,000 souls didn't just face an empire. They made it blink. 6 months earlier, a messenger departs from Medina. His name is Al-Harith ibn Umayr. His mission is simple: deliver a letter to the Ghassanid king, a Christian Arab ruler allied with Byzantine. It's an invitation to dialogue, sealed with the prophet's ring. Under every law of civilization, messengers are untouchable. Their lives are sacred. To harm them is to invite war. Al-Harith never reaches his destination. On the orders of a Ghassanid governor named Shurabil, the messenger is seized on the road, bound, and executed in cold blood. His body is left in the dust, the letter unopened. When word reaches Medina, the response is immediate. Within 24 hours, an army of 3,000 volunteers is assembled. Their mission: march north into Byzantine-controlled territory, confront the Ghassanids, demand justice for the murdered envoy. But this isn't just about vengeance, it's about survival. If messengers can be killed with impunity, diplomacy dies. And without diplomacy, the young Muslim community will be strangled in its cradle. The prophet makes an unusual decision. He appoints not one commander, but 3, each to take command if the one before him falls. First, Zayd ibn Haritha, a former slave freed years ago who chose loyalty over freedom and stayed by the prophet's side. In a society built on bloodlines and tribal honor, appointing a freed slave to command free warriors is revolutionary. It's a declaration that this army operates by different rules. Second, Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, the prophet's cousin, an orator who can move men to tears and a swordsman who's broken enemy formations with sheer audacity. Third, Abdullah ibn Rawaha, a poet whose words have inspired armies, a man who can take despair and forge it into hope. 3 commanders, a contingency plan written in succession. It suggests the prophet knows what's coming. The night before departure, Abdullah composes what he somehow knows will be his final poem. Death is a cup from which all men drink. The only choice we have is how we meet that moment. They march north through 1,000 kilometers of desert, expecting a regional conflict, a punitive expedition, justice for a fallen brother. They have no idea they're walking into a trap. While the Muslim army marches, intelligence reaches the Ghassanid court. The king doesn't just mobilize his own forces, he sends word to Constantinople, to the Byzantine emperor himself. And the emperor responds. 100,000 Byzantine soldiers are dispatched south to reinforce the Ghassanid army. Professional troops, siege equipment, cavalry units that crushed rebellions across 3 continents. The plan is elegant in its brutality.
Let the Muslims march deep into Roman territory, far from reinforcements, far from any hope of retreat. Then annihilate them so completely that no Muslim force ever dare approach Byzantine lands. On the 6th day of the march, Muslim scouts return with reports that defy belief. Dust clouds on the horizon, endless formations, standards from across the empire. Zayd calls an emergency council. The scouts are consistent. They're not facing a regional army. They're facing the military might of a superpower. On the 7th day, they see it with their own eyes. A sea of soldiers stretches to the horizon, 200,000 men, perhaps more, perfect formations, war machines that could level cities. For the first time in the campaign, absolute silence falls over the Muslim ranks.
That night, the three commanders hold the most important meeting of their lives. The options are stark. Retreat, preserve the army, live to fight another day, but abandon the mission, show weakness to every power watching. Attack, maintain honor, complete the mission, die as martyrs, but guarantee the destruction of 3,000 men. The debate rages through the night. Jafar and Abdallah argue for withdrawal. This isn't pride, it's survival. Losing 3,000 trained warriors would cripple the Muslim community for years. But Zayd makes the final call. They will attack at dawn. Not because they expect to win, but because some things matter more than survival. The blood of their fallen brother, the message that sacred laws cannot be broken, the declaration that this new community will not be intimidated, no matter the odds. As the commanders announce the decision, they notice a fourth man standing quietly at the edge of the firelight. Khalid ibn al-Walid, a recent convert who only months ago fought against the Muslims, a tactical genius with a reputation for never losing. He says nothing, but his eyes are calculating. Dawn breaks blood red over Muta. Zayd lifts the banner of Islam and leads the charge. What happens next should be impossible. 3,000 lightly armored infantry crash into an army 60 times their size, and the line holds. Zayd fights like a man possessed, concentrating his forces at specific points, creating local superiority through sheer ferocity. The battle that should have ended in minutes drags on for hours, then days. For 6 days, the Muslims refuse to break. On the 6th day, the Ghassanid commander realizes the truth. The strength of this impossible resistance flows from the man holding the banner. He orders every archer, every spearman to target Zayd. 1,000 arrows darken the sky. Witnesses say Zayd never took a single step backward. When the wounds finally bring him down, his last words are not for himself. The banner, do not let it fall. Jafar seizes it before it touches the ground, and the miracle continues. Jafar fights with the banner in one hand and his sword in the other, shouting inspiration across the battlefield. When a Byzantine cavalry charge threatens to surround the Muslim force, he makes a decision that will be remembered forever. He charges directly into the formation, drawing the entire Roman attack towards himself, a deliberate sacrifice. His right hand is severed. He shifts the banner to his left. His left hand is cut away. He clutches the banner to his chest with the stumps of his arms. 90 wounds, any one of them fatal. He keeps fighting until his body simply cannot continue.
Abdallah ibn Rawaha catches the banner as it falls. The poet-warrior composes verses as he fights, turning the battlefield into an epic spoken in real time. When the spear thrust finally brings him down, the banner falls to the blood-soaked ground. 3 commanders, 3 deaths. The Muslim army begins to break. The banner lies in the dust. A soldier named Thabit picks it up, frantically looking for someone to lead. He turns to Khalid ibn al-Walid. "Take it," Thabit says. Khalid hesitates. "You take it. You were faithful from the beginning. I was your enemy." "Khalid," Thabit insists, "you know war better than any of us." And Khalid steps forward. In Medina, hundreds of miles away, the Prophet is describing the battle to his companions as if watching it unfold. Zayd has fallen. May God have mercy on him. Ja'far has fallen. May God have mercy on him. Abdallah has fallen. May God have mercy on him. And then, now the banner is held by one of the swords of God. It's the first time Khalid is given that title, Saifullah, the drawn sword of God. From this moment, Khalid ibn al-Walid will never lose another battle. Over 100 engagements, not a single defeat. As darkness falls, the Byzantine commanders assume the battle is over. Scattered survivors, no organized resistance. They rest, planning to finish the Muslims at dawn. Khalid gathers the survivors and delivers a speech that changes everything. Tomorrow, we fight a different war, not the war of heroes charging to glorious death, the war of minds. We are going to teach the largest army in the world to fear 3,000 men. He gives orders that seem insane. Rotate positions entirely, front to back, back to front, left to right. Wash the dust from your clothes, repaint the banners in new colors, create the illusion that fresh reinforcements have arrived in the night. Divide the cavalry into small units. When dawn comes, charge in succession, kicking up massive dust clouds to suggest thousands more riders. As dawn breaks, Byzantine scouts see something that shouldn't be possible. Where they expected scattered remnants, they find organized formations, fresh banners, dust clouds suggesting massive reinforcements. The Byzantine commanders hesitate. Is this a trap? Has a larger Muslim army arrived from the south? And in that hesitation, Khalid strikes. He fights at the front, breaking 9 swords in personal combat, not from poor steel, from the sheer intensity of the fighting. Then he orders the most dangerous maneuver of all, a fighting withdrawal. Not a rout, a disciplined, step-by-step retreat. Every few miles, he turns his men around and counterattacks, just enough to make the Byzantines think twice about pursuit. To the Romans, it looks exactly like what they fear, an army moving towards more reinforcements. And that doubt paralyzes them, and the survivors of Mu'tah escape into the desert. When the army limps back into Medina, children throw dust at them. Some call them cowards for retreating. But the Prophet comes out to meet them personally. He takes Khalid's hand and declares words that will echo through history. You are not those who fled. You are those who will return. And here's the truth that changes everything. Mu'tah was a defeat. Technically, the Muslims didn't take territory. They didn't destroy the Byzantine army. They retreated. But the Byzantines were shaken.
How could 3,000 hold for 6 days against impossible odds? How did they escape annihilation? If this is what 3,000 could do, what happens when they return with 30,000? The answer came within 5 years. Muslim armies returned to Syria. Khalid led them, and the Byzantine Empire that fielded 200,000 men at Mu'tah lost battle after battle after battle. Within a decade, the entire Levant fell to the Caliphate. Historians still debate whether Rome could have stopped it if they'd pursued at Mu'tah, if they'd finished the job. But they didn't, because 3,000 men convinced them that even in defeat, the Muslims were too dangerous to chase into the desert.